Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to Chicago here. Look, yeah, we're looking at the Wrigley and the Tribune there. There's the London House there. There's the Trump Tower. We'll head down to O'Brien's here. So, I don't know if they're doing a bridge lift today. I seriously doubt it. We had rain all morning, and thankfully the rain just stopped. It's 11:53 here, coming on just a tad bit early. Krista, how you doing here? Yeah, I got down here just in case they were doing the bridge lift, and they're happy hour 3 to 6 here at O'Brien's. Here comes a first lady here. Well, yeah, they're doing a shoreline there. They're working on the State Street Bridge. But yeah, from all indications, it doesn't look like they're doing a bridge lift today. They didn't do one Saturday because of Memorial Day. Hey, Lambie T, the early Julie Reed. How's everybody doing here? Welcome to the Riverwalk here. Here's Chicago's first lady there. Nobody's on it. They must be just moving it around. But here, we'll head down the Riverwalk here. We haven't checked out the Riverwalk since probably last Wednesday. And you never know, I might get down to Lake Street. There might just be a little delayed today. But it doesn't look like they're doing a bridge lift today. This is Wednesday, right? Yeah. I'm losing track of the days here. Yesterday felt like Monday, even though it was Tuesday. And but here we're under Wabash. We'll head under State Street, and we'll just see what's shaking here on the Riverwalk. Here goes the water taxi. That's the nice one. If you get that 2-level water taxi there, you get on the top. It's a good way to see the city there. Yeah, we still got the walk in this morning on TikTok, even though it was starting to rain there. And there's the Chicago Brew House there. Robert H, that's what they call that boat. Yeah, they've been doing some serious work to State Street. I saw they lifted State Street yesterday. Is that a sailboat? That might be a sailboat. So the sailboats might be waiting for the Franklin Street Bridge. No, that's not a sailboat. That's just the shore there. I'm seeing things. You delayed your nap there. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to delay your nap there, Julie. Hopefully, maybe I can lull you to sleep there. Yeah, there's room in the afternoon to nap there. Yeah, take a nap there. Mary Therese, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we started early today. Is that a sailboat? I can't tell if that's a sailboat or not. Let's zoom in here. Let's see. This is what I'm seeing there. Is that a sailboat? What is that? Let's go over there. I think it's just looks like it's something. Oh, maybe that's just like a construction barge like this. See, there's a construction barge or underneath State Street. See how they have a whole section removed there. We saw the welders, and they were welding the I-beams there. But see, in the website, there is a website that it's about the Chicago bridge lifts, but it's useless because they don't update it. The last several weeks they have been doing the bridge lifts, but they haven't been saying they're confirmed. I think I see a sailboat there, so we might be in luck. I'm gonna keep heading west here, and it takes them a while to. Sometimes they wait a long time to open the Wells Street Bridge, and that's what has happened the past few times. I've rushed to get over there just to wait around, and you guys know a lot of the bridge lift is just waiting around. Hey, Little Village is tuning in there. Loco Freestyle, how you doing there? Yeah. You ever watch Vicky on TikTok? She has a huge following, 70,000 followers there. I'm glad and she streams in Spanish sometimes too, which is great. We got Edwin, he streams in Spanish from Chicago, but he streams he streams all over. And I think Ernesto's bilingual too, but he mostly streams in English. Ernie. But yeah, doing good there, Loco Freestyle. Yeah, I was all set to go down to Pilsen to do the Mayo de the Mole Festival, but I heard it was canceled this year. I know there was some other festivities that were canceled, which made me depressed there. But hopefully we can get back to normal. I know they still had Suenos there. Shakira was in town. I saw that. And here's yeah, I do see a sailboat, so we might be in luck. There might be a bridge lift. It looks like a sailboat's just sitting there. You see that is a sailboat. So I'm hoping that they're going to do the bridge lift. They do it Wednesdays and Saturdays. We've done it the last few Wednesdays. We've caught it. And don't tell me the sun's coming out. Here we're by Tiny Tap here. They got the flames going there. And yeah, I'm on my lunch break here. I kind of, you know, Wednesdays is probably the only day I try to get the stream going early, just in case we catch the bridges. Here they're opening up the windows at Tiny Tap here. Yeah, see, it looks like the sun's gonna come out. No way. We got 55 degrees here. Walking the dog on the Riverwalk here. Here comes Wendella. We'll get the boat going by here. They're taking pictures. Hey, Therese there, Lambie T, Nancy, Stephanie. Yeah. There, we'll get this Wendella boat going by. Yeah, they got the seating. You can, when it's not wet, you can just sit here and watch the boats go by. How you doing? How you doing? It's good. That's great. Hey, they're singing. They won last night. They won in 11 innings. The Cubs came back to beat the Colorado Rockies. They're on the road there, and they saw me wearing a Cubs hat. I would have wore a Sox hat, but the Sox lost last night, and the Cubs are in first place. So I'm on the bandwagon. I know that won't appease my Sox friends, but I think you understand. And I do give Sox friends credit. They're loyal even if their team's not winning. Unlike Cubs fans. So there's look, there's the Britannica. And yeah, I hear a bell ding, so we might get lucky. We might see the Wells Street Bridge. I think they're in between the Franklin Street Bridge and the Wells Street Bridge. The Wells Street Bridge takes a long time because the brown and purple lines go across, or at least the brown line at lunchtime. But I hear the bell dinging. I see somebody on the bridge, so we'll get underneath LaSalle Street. We'll try to catch a bridge lift. So we're lucking out. Looks like they're going to lift the bridges. There are sailboats, so we'll walk all through here on the way back. We'll be streaming for the next hour, at least till 1 o'clock. We'll see how many bridges we can catch. And there. Thanks for tuning in, Chicago Riverwalk. We got 55 degrees. We got 12:01. We're just past the noon hour. And we'll head under LaSalle Street. Yeah, Cubbies, Ryan Sandberg. Last year around this time, it was June the 23rd. They unveiled the Ryan Sandberg statue there next to Ron Santo and Ernie Banks and all the Hall of Famers there. And Ryan Sandberg was there. And I was there. I was standing next to Ronnie Woo Woo. We got a rerun. And Ronnie Woo Woo was doing his woos, and that's the last time I saw him. They gave me an update. Last he was in the nursing home there. He missed opening day. But hopefully we'll see Ronnie Woo Woo back out there. Pete, how you doing there? Yeah, Michael Jordan, how you doing there, Frank? Yeah. So Michael Jordan has a restaurant here, but he doesn't live in Chicago anymore, of course, associated with the Chicago Bulls. And I think that's what you're talking about. Here's the Merchandise Mart. Pete's tuning in from Hazlet, Michigan. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. Pete, we're gonna see another bridge lift today. So you're in luck here. The rain stopped. There's a few sailboats. The bell's dinging. So I think they're gonna open the Wells Street Bridge here. There, they blew a horn. Maybe that means something. I heard the bell dinging. Yeah. 2.5 hours. That's good, Denise. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, Ronnie Woo Woo. Al Bundy, yeah, we filmed the Married with Children fountain. The Buckingham Fountain is on. This is not the Buckingham Fountain. This is some little water feature they got on the side of the Riverwalk. That is water. There it is. There goes the Wells Street Bridge. Look at that. See, so the Wells Street Bridge is opening. That has the CTA trains on it. It's a double-deck bridge. And they do this Wednesdays and Saturdays all through the month of May into June. And so the sailboats can go out into the harbor. You see the rain? Look at the rain coming off. I might get wet if I go underneath here. Look at the rain. Look at the rain coming off the bridge there like a waterfall. This is the Wells Street Bridge. Let's see how many boats we got here. So you see you can walk right underneath it when it's being lifted because they got this kind of protection when you go under. Here's the architectural tour boats still go through here. Yeah, it's like raining here. See the rain coming off the bridge here. And there's Chicago's Emerald Lady heading underneath the waterfall of the Wells Street Bridge in the upright position. Look at that. Here, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I count 5 sailboats heading through here. How you doing? That's great. Going under the Wells Street Bridge here. Hey, they got an umbrella. Here we go. Look at that. How you doing? Hey, how you doing? Here comes the sailboats heading under the Wells Street Bridge. Yeah, they're making good progress here. Yeah, it's like modern day Venice. A little different. See, look at this linea, this architectural tour boats. So here's the Salesforce Towers there, and there's residential. And so here we'll follow this boat through here. And there's still water coming off of this bridge. But LaSalle Street's next. There's still cars moving on it, so I don't think maybe that's the last people there. And we'll get these boats going through here. Summer dreams, yeah, we're dreaming of California dreaming here. Christopher, yeah, have you seen this? Christopher, they're doing the bridge lift today. I know you're still in town. I don't know if you want to come over and see this, or you can just watch it. I know you're probably pretty tired. I saw you tasted the Chicago style pizza. Check out Christopher Dotson's page there. He gave a taste test of the Rosati's Chicago style pizza. Gave it a 9 out of 10. That's good. Thanks for trying that out there. And I saw you were on the tour bus there last night, touring around the city. It looked good. You were in front of the Chicago Theater. But here we're doing a bridge lift here. I'm on my lunch break. And there's Linnea going through the upright Wells Street Bridge. Bart, how you doing from Oklahoma there? Krista Volker, yeah. How's everybody doing there? Yeah, Deontay, yeah. Rosati's Pizza. He picked a good choice there. Oh, good. So Christopher's heading to Navy Pier. So if you want to check out Navy Pier, check out Christopher Dotson. I'll be streaming until 1. I don't know if you're going to start then, but then after that, check out Christopher Dotson is streaming. There's always somebody streaming somewhere. And so, yeah, you're producing great content, showing off Chicago. We appreciate it. And it's good to see from the New Yorker's perspective there. So there's people still heading across LaSalle. There it goes. There's coming down. Look how fast it comes down. Look how fast they can raise and lower these bridges. And Wendella, they're tall enough. It looks like it's going to hit the boat, but it's not. Here's the sailboat here. Look at this nice view here. The Wells Street Bridge coming down here. And we got five sailboats heading through. Hey Ernie, how you doing there? Thanks for being on. The Sweet Peach, Kansas City, tuning in. That's great. Yeah, Chicago Nuggies. Michael, thanks for being on. Western Oklahoma, that's great. Bart, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in from Western Oklahoma. That's great. If I missed anybody, yeah. Christy M. Yeah, the clang clang goes to the trolley. So here they're clearing people off. How you doing? They're clearing people off the LaSalle Street Bridge here. And Finland, how you doing here? Thanks for tuning in to Chicago. Yeah, we're doing a bridge lift here. Got people tuning in from all over the world. That's great. And see, they just lowered the Wabash Street Bridge, so that was open. They made it through here. This is LaSalle Street Bridge, so they're getting ready to open this. And you never know. I always turn my back, and then it starts opening. See, they're waiting. Yeah, once they make it through Wells, it usually goes pretty quickly. They'll do these in quick succession here. Yeah, the Oklahoma Thunder, they're doing good there. I'm sure you've been watching the playoffs. Bulls, we didn't even make the playoffs. We had one of those play-in games to get into the playoffs, and then we lost. We did that 2 years in a row where they would just barely, you know, the play-in to get into the playoffs. But Oklahoma City Thunder, good team there. What, are you playing the Timberwolves still? Yeah. Yeah, Christopher's the man about town there. There, I hear the sound there. You hear the motor. Again, these are Bascule bridges. They have counterweights under the abutments. They do this every Wednesday and Saturday. They didn't do it last Saturday because of Memorial Day weekend. But here we're waiting for these 5 boats to cruise through here. Yeah, I don't know why you're consumed with death there. Look at, they're only opening the north half of the LaSalle Street Bridge there. Look at that. So I wonder why they're only opening the north half. It's barely opening it, so maybe it's enough for these boats to get through. They need to open it a little further than that, hopefully. So here, let's we'll head underneath here and we'll view it from the other side. They might be stuck. They started lifting it and they only got like halfway. Let's go through here. Yeah, that's a very bad joke. It's not funny to joke about anybody's death, even people you don't like, you know. But you know, we're used to it. We got good mods, you know. I know people just want to be funny. You know, I shouldn't even address it. You know, I personally, you know, I just want to engage with the people so they know that you teach people how to treat you, and we're not going to stand for it. But I know people whine and complain, but I'd rather have a decent conversation than people try to hijack it with whatever they want to talk about. Look at the nice LaSalle Street Bridge here. See, they are opening both sides. So good. They opened one side first, and then they were waiting. Well, look at the size. Look at the weight of these bridges we talk about all the time. See how you can look underneath here and see the water coming off here. The rain stopped. The sun's trying to come out. We got about 55 degrees here in Chicago. We're under LaSalle Street. Look how you can look underneath there. There's the concrete counterweight, and there's the fulcrum. And the counterweights do weigh more than the bridge, but the bridge weighs thousands of tons, and the counterweights weigh even more. And it's an engineering marvel, these Bascule bridges. Some of these bridges are over 100 years old, and they still work. And they were an improvement upon the original bridges, which swung in the middle of the river like a top. You can look and see old bridges there, the swing bridges. But here we got 5 sailboats heading underneath LaSalle Street. Here, Riverwalk here, we're across from the Britannica building. And this is the general area where the Eastland disaster happened in 1915. You can look it up, the Eastland disaster. Almost as many people perished in the Eastland disaster as the Titanic. It only happened like 3 years later. And they're strangely related because of if they wouldn't have added lifeboats and weights at the top of the Eastland, it might not have capsized. But they thought it was, you know, they retrofitted these boats after the Titanic, and led to a strange consequence. Here we got tour boats coming through. There you see the Marina Towers. There is low cloud cover because that's 1,100 feet there, and that's where the clouds are. There's the water taxi heading through there. You see how congested it gets. Hey, the cute babies here. People watching the sailboats come underneath the bridges here. Yeah, Ronnie's tuning in there. Football country, yeah. Scotland's tuning in. Thanks, Ronnie. Yeah, it took me a while to find your Sweet Peach. How you doing there? Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in here. So there's so many comments coming through that, yeah, so people are already asking me to go places. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm glad it stopped raining too. Yeah, so the water taxi is still about 10 bucks, but if you buy a 10-day pass, which is what I do, I know if you're traveling here, you might not want to buy a 10-day pass, but if you live here and you plan on using it more than once, the 10-day pass, you can buy 10 rides for $25. That ends up being $2.50 per ride, which is intended for the commuters, people, you know, transferring from Ogilvy to, you know, Michigan Avenue or Navy Pier. And, but yeah, if you just buy a single ride, I think it's $10. It's cheaper than the water taxis. The water taxis can be a bit pricey. They're more like $50 or $60 to ride those architectural cruises there. There's the LaSalle Street Bridge coming down there. See how quick that was? The 5 sailboats headed through there. They already raised and lowered it. It only takes a few minutes, and then they can move on to the next bridge, which is the Clark Street Bridge. South Bend, Critter Bones, how you doing there? West Green, yeah, Nancy. How's everybody doing here? One Road Gemstone. Yeah, this is my lunch break, so you know I usually, they're running to get off. They're dinging the bell, so if they start dinging the bell, you better run to get off. Remember one time we saw there was somebody on a bike, and everybody in the sailboats, they were dinging the bell and they wouldn't get off the bridge, and everybody in unison on the boats, they said, "Get off the bridge!" And they're like, "Oh, me?" And they were like right there on a bike, and they didn't realize that the bridge was going to lift. They thought they could like stay on the bridge. Be like the Blues Brothers. And Chris and I went down and we saw the Blues Brothers Bridge. You can see that on TikTok. But here they're lowering the LaSalle Street Bridge. See how they lower one side first and then they ease down the other side. And there'll be traffic moving across that lickety split. But here's the Clark Street Bridge, so we'll stick around here until the Clark Street Bridge starts opening here. But hey, see how people pull to the side here, and you got to wait so they can let the other. How's it going there? How you doing? You guys went through a lot of bridges already, right? Like 20 bridges. Yeah. All the way at Ashland Avenue. Wow, you started at Ashland. That's great. Well, I'm glad the rain stopped. That's good. We got the whole summer ahead of us, so I'll let you get back to it. I'm just filming this. That's great. I'm on YouTube here, so the people are tuning in from Scotland and Finland to watch this, so that's good. That's awesome. So hey, yeah, thanks for being in the chat here. And we're just talking to some of the sailors here. They've already gone through several bridges. They've been at this all morning. And here, if we head to the other side, that's a nice dog there. We'll try to catch the Clark Street Bridge opening here. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, Scotland, William. Yeah, they go all the way to the lake. They're one bridge at a time. Here it goes. I hear it. So hey, maybe we'll get the Clark Street Bridge opening here. You hear the machinery starting to turn here. There's the Quaker Oats building behind there. And if you just tuned in, we're in Chicago. They're doing a bridge lift today. We got 5 sailboats. There they are. They made it to LaSalle. They started at Ashland, which is actually south of Chinatown. Went through all those bridges, all the bridges on the south branch through the downtown. There it goes. There goes the Clark Street Bridge. There it's starting to open there. Yeah, we're one world. You're coming up Wacker Drive there, Christopher. Yeah, we're one world there. We are the children. You singing a song? We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. I almost fell in the water here. I'll hold on to the rail there. But hey, there's the Clark Street Bridge. Here went the water taxi shake a leg. Here comes the boats here. So let's watch these boats go underneath Clark Street here. Yeah, hit the like button there. We got 139 people tuning in. This is great. There you see the Weston. Yeah, there's the Clark Street Bridge here. There they go. There's the guys we talked to. They're coming through. Here comes the 5 sailboats. So we'll follow this sailboat right where it heads through here. Yeah, I know. I don't want to fall in the water. I got to look where I'm going. The railing would have saved me. I know people say the railing, when you get towards the confluence there, the railing is just a little chain link fence that you could easily fall over. Hey, these sailboats are cruising here.
She's trying to under.
Yeah, look at that nice view. Clouds are lifting here. Yeah, Clark Street Bridge. There you can see the underneath there. Yeah, let's get back here a little bit here, so we'll get back so we can see it lower. David, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, appreciate it. David, you're from Compton, right? Yeah, that's great. Thanks for tuning in to the Lunch Bunch here. Yeah, we're going by the Tiny Cafe here. There's the Clark Street Bridge in the upright position here. We'll get a little further back. There, they're taking photos there, having their lunch, just taking some photos of the boats going through. Yeah, look at the Whirlpool building. Look at that. Get that. We're such a great sailboat city here. See all the sailboats out in the lake and in the harbors there. Hey, we got palm trees. Son, how you doing there? Christopher, you see the bridges. Hey, I'm glad you came over to see it there. Isn't that great? Yeah, thanks for checking it out. You see the bridges in the upright position. I'm sure you've seen me film this before. I know how much you like the Riverwalk, and it's so interesting to see it with the bridges lifted here, one after another. And again, they do this every Wednesday and Saturday. Weather permitting, last Saturday they didn't do it because of the Memorial Day. There's the Clark Street Bridge starting to lower there. Yeah, best YouTube channel. Thanks, son. Thanks, Ann Hannah. Yeah, you did the walk. You were here last week. That's good. That's great. Well, thanks, everybody there. Yeah, thanks for checking out the Clark Street Bridge, the lowering here. It's so far, yeah, you're looking down the river, yeah. Well, you can see it a long ways. You know, you might be up by Michigan Avenue or the other end there, yeah. And there it is. There's the Clark Street. See, they almost got the one side lowered there. We're by the Tiny Tap here. We're by, there goes Dearborn. Right away, Dearborn. Look, see how fast it goes. Once they get through the Wells Street Bridge, it goes pretty quick. So, Christopher, they're opening the Dearborn Street Bridge, the one in front of the Marina Towers there, the Corn Cob building. So you should be able to see that going up. And yeah, we'll head up with these boats here. And look at that. You get the Marina Towers. What a nice postcard view here. Yeah, let's head right through here. The dogs like it. The pigeons like it. I don't know if the pigeons like it. No, the music's syncing up with the bells. Yeah, it's like a techno rave here. We need some whistles. Hey, there's the Dearborn Street Bridge. You see the grates there. There's the sailboats heading through here. Yeah, look at that. I bet the balconies in the Marina Tower have a nice view. There, look at the size of this bridge above us here. Water's dripping across here. Yeah, look at that. Let's get these boats going through here. Yeah, the sirens. Always sirens. Naya's tuning in there. Yeah, thanks for tuning in there. UK, Kana, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, welcome to Chicago. Yeah, you got some pretty bridges there in London there over the Thames. Some of those are drawbridges too. London Bridge is falling down. London Bridge. Some of them, they lift the whole bridge. This is the Chicago River here. See, there's the House of Blues. There's the Marina Towers. And this is Dearborn Street. There goes two more boats. Christopher, how you doing? I'm Brian. How you doing? Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thanks for. I'll let you go back to what you're filming there. I just want to say hello. Good. Thank you. You okay with being on camera, or I mean, I'll keep it off to the side here. Yeah, that's good. How you doing? What do you think of Chicago? You guys enjoying yourself? Or?
I love Chicago.
Good.
Chicago's amazing. We've been to the South Side. We've been to the North Side. We've been to.
You went to Chinatown.
Yeah,
Chinatown's on the edge of the South Side. That's good. Yeah, look at this. What do you think of these bridges here? Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you came over to see it. I know you got plenty of other stuff to see. But I'll let you be. I just want to say hello, and thanks for visiting Chicago.
You know, I also want to come and say hello to you too.
Good. Well, thanks for coming down here. And my audience, look, everybody's saying hello. Well, you know everybody on the Lunch Bunch here.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, here's Christopher. And I've been checking out your content, and I'm glad I ran into you. So enjoy the rest of your vacation there.
All right.
And I'll see you around there. That's good. Nice meeting you. That's good.
Right.
That's good. That's good. So, hey, there's Christopher Dotson there. So he came down here to check this out. And good. So we'll keep going here. There, we're State Street. Yeah, isn't that great? See, Christopher, he did the taste test for the Chicago style pizza. They went to Rosati's, and this is nice. So Christopher might not have knew what I looked like because I hardly show myself on YouTube, but I do show myself on TikTok, and he does watch on TikTok, but he's mainly on YouTube, which he has the same frustrations that I have with these streaming apps. We both have, you know, the limitations of free speech. But here's Dearborn Street coming down here, and oh, you'll be here tomorrow, David. That's good. Yeah. So I'll be walking around downtown tomorrow. Friday, I'll probably be up at Wrigley. The Reds are in town, and my friend Dave usually gets tickets for those 12-20 games there on Fridays, and it's going to be nice weather, so twist my arm. We'll find a way to get in there and check out my old team, the Reds there.
Yeah, it's one that we didn't learn about.
Yeah, I hope you have a good time there. Thanks, David. Thanks for we'll be looking for you there. So I'll probably just in the morning I'll head to work just like I normally do, and I'll head home at lunchtime. If you're downtown, noon to 1, we'll probably go over to Daily Plaza at lunch tomorrow because they'll be doing the Green City Market, and we're doing the Riverwalk today. And yeah, go Reds. Yeah, Michael Anderson from Ohio there. Yeah, there you go. See, I grew up a Reds fan there. People always ask me about Cubs or Sox. You know, I like the Cubs and Sox. I'm rooting for the Cubs now because they're in first place. You know, I know they're Cincinnati. It's always, yeah. I used to go to, once I moved to Chicago, we would go to Reds game in Cincinnati. I'd be wearing a Cubs hat, and they'd be playing Reds, and they would really rub it in if the Reds beat the Cubs. But here's the State Street, and yeah, thanks for checking us out here. Oh yeah, that's right. They were the Cubs were just in Cincinnati. Oh, that's good. That's good, Christy M. Thanks for seeing the. They got a nice stadium there, the Great American Ballpark, and of course they got the Pete Rose statue and the Johnny Bench. I'm not old enough to remember the big Red Machine. It was when I think I was born in '76, but that was the '75 games where they beat the Boston Red Sox. My mom was probably pregnant with me then, but I do remember when Pete Rose was still the manager player. I remember when I was a kid watching when Pete Rose broke Ty Cobb's all-time hit record there, 4,192. I actually remember the number. There's the State Street. So they're going to only open the southern half of State Street because it's under construction, and we can clearly see the construction progress. They have whole beams removed, and that's why it's closed to vehicular traffic and pedestrian traffic. They're working on the State Street Bridge, and here we can see it here. They're raising the southern half. There's the counterweights there, and look at that. So here we'll keep going here. Your cousin's a huge Cubs fan. Yeah, you got into a fight. Hey, it's a friendly rivalry, right? Yeah, that's right. You're right, Denise. I'm going to go try to see one of those games. On Friday, I'm going to try to go to Wrigley when the Cubs are playing the Reds at Wrigley. And so stay tuned for that. Of course, I can't stream when the game's going on. It breaks all kinds of FCC. People do it, but I don't want to risk my account. I got a warning this morning for just complaining, so I got to be careful. So here's... look at the... See, look, they removed those beams. They're working on the State Street Bridge there. There, the water taxi just went through. This is a really nice view. You get to the... Look at the fog. You can't even see the top of the John Hancock there. Normally you'd be able to see the John Hancock, but look at that. We'll back up here. Here goes the boats going over State Street. We'll back up a little bit so we can get the whole thing in here. Do you like Red Sox, Maria? That's good. Well, you remember, well, at least, you know, if you weren't around just like me, you remember seeing footage of the 75 Classic. Yastrzemski hit the pole there and sent it to Game 7, but the Reds still won the World Series. That was one of the best World Series games ever. Game 6 of the 1975. That was in Fenway. And even Game 7 was close. That whole series was close. But here's the State Street Bridge, half of it in the upright position. They got a clear view to the Marina Towers there. And then just like a diving board, half of the State Street, the workers are actually there. So here we'll back up even further here. Here's the Vietnam War Memorial here. And there, I'm missing the comments here. Oh, Ernie, I'll look for you tomorrow morning. I just saw that there. Okay, thanks, Ernie. Thanks for the good info there. Yeah, that'd be great to see you tomorrow there. We'll look for you on Michigan Avenue. So, yeah, here's the State Street. Marina Towers. See, we were talking to these guys, I think, or was it these guys? I can't. But look at that nice view, the State Street Bridge in the upright position. Yeah. Here, Wabash is next. As soon as the State Street starts lowering, we'll keep moving down the river here. We streaming okay? Good. So, Chicago Brew House. Yeah, it's good. We'll show you the pregame. I'll probably, you know, usually I meet Dave at Byron's. We get a Chicago-style hot dog. And then we walk down to Wrigley. We'll try to film the pregame festivities. Maybe we'll film walking around the stadium and the national anthem, God Bless America, and the first pitch and things like that. And last time I wanted to do that, but it was rain delayed and it was so cold and clammy that I punted on filming the national anthem because it was delayed and it wasn't at the normal time slot. But it looks like the weather's going to be pretty nice on Friday. It's supposed to be like upper 70s and mostly sunny, so we'll take that. But there, look at this nice view. You get to the Wrigley and the Tribune. And here's the State Street Bridge starting to come down here, so I went too far. Can't even see it. But here we'll walk back towards it here. Avon calling? Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, this has been going on for years, you know, and I would look out the window and I'm like, oh, the bridge is up, but I wouldn't, like, go down to check it out. And now this gives me a reason to film it here. Yeah. That clearly illustrates how both sides of the bridge are self-supporting. Your aunt sold Avon? Avon calling. Candy Graham. Here's the Marina Towers. Look at that view. Here comes the Sea Dog. We'll get the Sea Dog coming through here. Hey, yeah, you go to Navy Pier, you catch that Sea Dog. And they go on the lake, they go pretty fast. Yeah, we were at Navy Pier yesterday. We checked out Navy Pier briefly. I just wanted to catch those slips there. There it is. So there's State Street. Look at that gap there. The workers are right there. State Street, that great street. Son, you tuning in from Hyde Park? Is that what you're saying there? Hyde Park's great, yeah. Chris and I were down there for when did you see the cherry blossoms bloom this year? Like last 2 years they didn't bloom. There's cherry blossoms there by the, hey, look, he's telling people to clear the bridge. He's telling people to clear the bridge here. So that means let's start heading this way because they're about to open the Wabash Avenue Bridge and we'll get it here. Actually, I want to film it this way. If we film it this way, there's a beautiful view to the Wrigley building. And so we'll head this way. And here comes the sun. And we got 5 sailboats heading through all these bridges here. Main channel, the Chicago River here. Heading to Lake Michigan for a summer boating season. There's the Marina Towers. Here's the Chicago Brew House. And they're about to open the Wabash there. So we'll get over by this guy. And we'll be able to film this thing with the Wrigley building in the middle there. Chinatown, yeah, we go down to Chinatown. Christopher Dodson went down, they saw Chinatown. And so they blew the whistle. There's still some people walking across there.
Oh my God.
What's this box? There's a box. So someone that says there's dead bodies, there's a little coffin there. There's a little coffin in the river there. I'm not making light of it. I know somebody tuning in is going to say something about that. There's a box. Somebody lost a box there. But here's the vantage point I want. See, we're by State Street. Here goes Chicago's First Lady. See, we got the nice view to the Wrigley building there. So we'll see if they open the... there's still people walking across. There's still somebody pushing something across there. Yeah, son, what are you spamming there? Just to give us a question, or I know you're just throwing out words there. It's not bothering me, but yeah, listen to what Chris is saying there. If you're annoying the people in the chat, for whatever reason, you can still watch. We just want to understand where you're coming from here. Chicago's, yeah. See, so you're just saying words. Okay, that's good. It might be a language thing, Chris. Hey, Oklahoma there, Katrina, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Or Karina Thompson, thanks for tuning in there. Let me get your name right there. And there's several people tuning in from Oklahoma there. That's great. We're in Chicago here. So they're going to lift this Wabash Avenue Bridge. These are Bascule bridges. Normally, you'll be able to see the John Hancock, but the whole John Hancock's obscured by clouds in that gap. And I don't know what this box is. There's still traffic moving across here. So I guess they were getting ready to open it. And people are still on the bridge here, so we might be delayed here. So we'll talk to these guys here. Yeah, thanks, Pete. Thanks for watching the bridge lift there. No, Chris, I know you're fine. Yeah, I know you're working. You're doing great. I appreciate you for just keeping it on the background there. Hey, virtual hug there. There you go. Hey, thanks for subscribing there, Karina. I appreciate it. And everybody else there. Yeah, we're growing the YouTube. We're getting more followers on the YouTube, which is good. It took us a while to get traction, but we're really starting to, several thousand people watch the reruns, which is good. I know, and I missed, I watched Christopher Dodson streaming in the landscape, and I really would prefer to stream in the landscape, but when it's in the portrait, they push it further in the... it gets more exposure because I think it goes in the short. So now they're dinging the bell here, so they're getting ready to open the Wabash Bridge here. So yeah, mod power. Oh, Dubai. Hey, that's logical. Thanks for tuning in from Dubai. That's awesome. Yeah, this is a really good view here. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to go all the way to Lakeshore Drive. Yeah, so they got 3 more to go. Yeah.
I mean, thank you for streaming this. I would have never known about it.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I didn't tune into the stream.
Yeah, I lived here for years and didn't know about it. They do it to let the sailboats out. Yeah, good. I'm glad you came and checked it out. Yeah, it's something to see here. There's still people walking across. Usually when they ding, last year there was somebody on a bike and they wouldn't get off, and everybody on the boats was like, "Get off the bridge." Oh, Chris, I got somebody that watches your channel that's watching mine. Karina says she watches your channel and she's tuning in here. Isn't that great? Yeah, that's good. So hey, we're expanding our audience here. This is good. Yeah, they're right there. They're watching it. Yeah. So it's always there's one last person running across. I'm surprised they let them across there. They said you better get off of there quick. Be like the Blues Brothers. Look, the mad dash there. There's the last. She's like, I really got to get across. I'm gonna miss my lunch date. Okay, that's it. Lift the bridge there. You better lift it now before somebody else starts to run across. It's like the Mighty Python skit. Get on with it. Come on. We're already here. There's some people watching over there. There's the Langham Hotel. It's part of the old IBM building. Half of this is a hotel here. Yeah, that's a long sailboat there. Look at that. Oh yeah, it's frustrating for the boats. It's frustrating for the people. You know, that's why they do it in the middle of the day. It supposedly has less impact on the traffic because, like when they got to close down Michigan Avenue. Hey, here comes Evening Star heading through here. There it goes. There it goes. See, as soon as I turn my head, then it starts opening. There's the Wabash Avenue Bridge opening here. And it's got a nice view to the Wrigley building there. See, the Wrigley building will be right in the center. That's why we came over to this spot. There goes the Evening Star heading through there. I ran so far away, couldn't get away. Hey, their sailboats are ready to go. Here, they're taking off. Cast off. Yeah. See the opening there. There they go. So look at that. Perfectly aligned with the Wrigley building there, the Wabash Avenue Bridge in the upright position. Thanks for tuning in to Chicago. We got about 55 degrees here on a Wednesday, end of May. Still kind of chilly, but yeah, start the trolling motor there. 2 weeks ago, we saw a boat, the engine broke, and they had to haul it through there. So they was like the Coast Guard was hauling the boat through all these bridges. That was nice of them to do that. Yeah, Michael Anderson, Julie Reed there. Did you guys get you some Chicago-style hot dogs too, or you just got some pizza?
We got both.
You got both?
We got both.
Yeah.
Did you get some Portillo's?
Yeah.
Good. What'd you think of it? They loaded up with all those garnishes.
really
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
That's good. Well, hey, thanks for saying hello. We'll talk to you later. I'm gonna keep. Good. Nice running into you, Christopher. That's great. I'm sorry. That's it. Thanks for. Yeah, I might see you down there. I'm gonna head that way. I'm gonna go back to work at 1 o'clock, so I'll see you. Yeah, that's good. So there's. Yeah, we'll head over this way. So the Michigan Avenue Bridge is next. We'll probably get up above. And hey, thanks for tuning in. That's great seeing Christopher and his friend there, and they're still enjoying Chicago. and check out his content there. I'm glad we got some people that watch Christopher watching this. We got some people that watch me watching Christopher. That's what we want here. We all learn from each other, and it's nice to see their perspective of a they got the Chicago style hot dog, a Chicago style pizza. They said they liked it, and he gave a taste review there. And here we'll head here, Leela. It's fun just walking under these bridges when they're upright, because you feel the weight of the bridge above you. Look at that thing hanging above you. The structure, it's the same structure, you know, just like the John Hancock with the X's, you know. That's why I call the John Hancock a bridge into the sky. Because it's for wind shear, to keep it from the wind from swaying the building so much, but it still sways. Nelios, how you doing there? That's okay. I remember you, Nelios. Thanks for tuning in. You caught us on a good day. Hey, you've been traveling, so that's fine. You can always catch up on the reruns. There's no reason you don't have to tune in every day. I understand. Thanks for coming back here. Yeah, we just saw Christopher Dotson. He's in Chicago with his friend there. They've been tootling around. And here we'll there's the water taxi there. They're waiting here. See, it's getting congested. It gets really congested. And so this is the first time I've seen, these tour boats usually don't like to wait, especially the water taxis, because they want to maintain their schedule. But here's the Wabash Bridge coming down here. Southwest Louisiana, Henry Broussard, I remember you too. Broussard, yeah, thanks for tuning in from Southwest Louisiana, that's great. Yeah, that's over towards it's over towards Beaumont, Texas there, yeah. You like south of like Lake Charles there. Lake Charles, Louisiana, just like the band song there. Lake Charles, Louisiana. Take a load off Franny. Wabash Avenue. Coming down here. Look at all this. Look at all this boat congestion here. See, that sailboat was messing up. It's waiting. It's kind of waiting for the Michigan Avenue Bridge, and then and all the. I bet. Yeah. See, look, they want them to get out of the way, and they're waiting there right in the middle. So it's causing the cat. They're saying, "Get out of the way." Let's see if they yell at him when they go by. See, these boats all pulled to the side, and this guy's like right in the middle. He's gonna yell at him when he goes by. Look at him, they're messing with him. They're like, go ahead, hit us. We did see a boat accident one year, remember that? Yeah. Look at that. They were yelling at each other. It's road rage on a boat. You see that? I did see a boat accident one year, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, how you doing? That's awesome. Yeah. How you doing? So here, yeah, look at this nice view here. I think they're messing with them. Let's talk to them. I'll commend them for staying the ground. Oh, look at this. We got engagement photos here. Look at that. That's great. Look at them. All kinds of stuff happening. That's a beautiful... That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. That's good. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. That's good. That's good. So hey, they're having a good time out here. So the Wabash Bridge is down. They're dinging the bell for the Michigan. Sometimes it takes a long time for the Michigan Avenue Bridge. We'll get to the top here, and we'll get to the side. We still got 12:47. If we're lucky, within the next 13 minutes, they'll at least raise the Michigan Avenue Bridge so we can show that. See where we're at here. We were here this morning, but here we're underneath. This is the lower level of Wacker Drive here, Wacker, Michigan. What's that car doing? It's backing up. Oh, it's because It's because they're about to open the bridge and they closed the gate, so they're even closing the bottom. So here, we'll head up. Look at this amazing view. You get to the Wrigley, the Tribune, and the Intercontinental Hotel. Used to be the Medina Athletic Association. So we'll get up to the top here.
Yeah.
And oh, so how you doing?
Oh.
Hey, see, they're lowering the gate here. So traffic's being stopped on Michigan Avenue. Yeah, most beautiful skyscrapers in the world there. You remember the wreck? Yeah, Julie, you remember that? Yeah, the guy got out of the boat and he goes, "Can I use your footage to file an insurance claim?" I'm like, "Yeah, just don't make me show up to court. I don't want to be deposed." But hopefully he got his insurance claim there. There goes the City View barge here. So they cleared everybody off. They might open this pretty quickly here. Here's the Michigan Avenue Bridge here, DeSable Michigan Avenue Bridge. Yeah, Christopher, it was so great seeing you in person there. Thanks for meeting you. Nice to meet you. And oh yeah, I'm glad you guys are having a good time in Chicago. That is awesome. And yeah, thanks for meeting me on the Riverwalk. I'm glad you guys saw the bridge lift here. We're over here by the Michigan Avenue Bridge here. We'll see if they open. Here comes the Sea Dog. Look at all the people in the Sea Dog there. Yeah. Yeah, look, everybody's saying hello, Christopher, in the chat there. Everybody knows who you are there. And that's great. Everybody's saying hello. So they're dinging the bell. That's the most annoying thing, is that bell keeps on dinging. Here, let's get a little further this way. We'll get right over here. There's the London Guarantee Building. There, they're going up the stairs there. There's the nuptial couple. They were taking some engagement photos there. Thanks everybody for saying hello to Christopher. You tried the Shanghai, terrible. Oh, really? Right inside the peninsula? Yeah, the Peninsula Hotel, I think it's overpriced, but that's just my opinion. See, I don't stay in it. I went in there once at Christmas time. They had an ice skating rink on the roof deck, and I was dressed all like shabbily, and they you know, since I didn't look like I had money, they didn't treat me well, and that's the Peninsula, which, you know, it's an expensive hotel. Hopefully your room has a nice pool on the top. I mean, hopefully you checked out that swimming pool they got. It's like you could swim laps in it. But yeah, the Peninsula. I mean, there's plenty of good Chinese food. You just have to go down to Chinatown or go to Argyle there, Little Saigon. You got the dim sum up there as well. Get the real dim sum. But yeah, big buildings there. Yeah, thanks every autumn. Yeah, the London House, there it is. You can stay in the London House. They got a rooftop up there. There's the Jewelers Building looking down to Maria Towers. Of course, there's a hotel in the Trump Tower. And there's the Langham there. We're waiting for this Michigan Avenue Bridge to open here. There it goes. See, they're just lifting the northern half there. That's what they did last time. Look at this nice view we get of the Wrigley, Tribune, Intercontinental Hotel with the DuSable Michigan Avenue Bridge lifting there. And thanks for staying on here. We got 12:52. What a nice live stream here. We got to see Christopher Dodson there. And thanks everybody for saying hello. And yeah, we'll head right through here. So yeah, there they are, beautiful. How you doing this week? Here's the bridge here. And it's nice, like we can walk right over to the street here and show what it looks like from the sidewalk. And show what this bridge looks like in the upright position. See, all the traffic's backed up on Michigan Avenue. They got the gates down. There it is. Look at that. Sorry. I apologize. Yeah. I want to see. I want to get that mass going through there. That's amazing. Yeah. I blocked their view there. I apologize. So here we'll head across the street here. There you can see it. Look at that. Michigan Avenue Bridge here. The northern half's upright. The sailboats are heading through there. See the vans here blocking all the traffic's backed up on Wacker Drive too. There we can see it from the other side here. The flags are flying there. Look at that. Netherlands, yeah. Oh yeah, you got some beautiful architecture in the Netherlands, Dutch architecture. I would love to do some live streaming from Amsterdam, Rotterdam. Hopefully we'll get over there someday. Thanks for tuning in to Chicago. They're lifting the Bascule bridges here. This is the double-deck Michigan Avenue Bridge, DeSable Michigan Avenue Bridge, in front of the Wrigley Building. There's the Tribune Tower. If I get a little further this way, we might get the whole thing here. See, we're in front of the Chicago Architecture Center here. There's the Mies van der Rohe building. There's the 333 North Michigan Art Deco. There, the last of the sailboats heading through here. Yeah, the stereo bells. Surround sound. We got surround sound here. Hey, look at all the people out here filming the boats here. And again, this happens every Wednesday and Saturdays. Usually, you have to check the webpage, but the webpage is useless.
Anyway.
But you can see the scheduled, and they like past Saturday they didn't do it because it was Memorial Day, but they're back at it. There's even goes into June a little bit. Look at that wonderful view. We got the Tribune and the Wrigley. There's sirens, more sirens. There's the Apple store across the way. See, look at this Riverview barge going through. We'll try to catch this bridge going down here. I think all the sailboats are through, so maybe they'll lower it. Let's see how fast they lower it here. They don't want to keep it open too long. So they got two more bridges to go. They got the Columbus Avenue Bridge, and they got the Lakeshore Drive Bridge. Yeah, thanks everybody for saying hello to Christopher. Thanks Nelios and everybody, all the Michaels and Ernie and smelling salts. You got some smelling salts? get them, yeah, bath salts. Yeah, thanks for tuning in there, Juiced and Niles. And thanks everybody for being a nice audience here. Thanks for my mods keeping everything orderly here. So if we get over here, at 1 o'clock they'll turn on the Centennial Fountain, which will be interesting because it's about to happen. Okay, so the fire truck needs to get across the bridge, and it's turning around. And look, there's an ambulance here. So yeah, they better lower this bridge so this fire truck can head across. They're lowering the DeSable Michigan Avenue Bridge. It's a double-deck bridge right in front of the Wrigley building here. So we got sirens all around here. Yeah, it feels like it was just yesterday we were here for St. Patrick's Day. The river still looks green, but it's not as green as it was that day. Yeah, the price, the peninsula is really, really expensive. Yeah, you can look it up there. There, look at that bridge coming down there. So the sirens there's an ambulance there, and I don't know where it wants to go. It's coming slowly down Wacker Drive, but I think it wants to cross the bridge. Here comes number 53. Well, see, that's the amazing thing. You can always just go like one bridge over, but you have to go to the lower level to connect with Columbus there. Yeah, come to the Green River. Time flies when you're having fun. But only since we're so close to 1 o'clock, we'll walk over and we'll see if we get the, we saw it yesterday, we saw the Centennial Fountain water jet shoot a jet over there. And I'm not going to stick around for the Columbus or the Lakeshore Drive Bridge. We got reruns from last year where we saw those bridges. I think we saw the Columbus Street Bridge open last Wednesday or the Wednesday before that. So check out the reruns if you want to see this. See, there's traffic still moving across it, so it's going to be a while. But I just want to. We got less than 2 minutes for they're gonna shoot that water cannon. Look at all the flags there. Look at all the. I see the South Korean flag, the Turkey flag, United States flag, the Chicago flag. Here's the Hyatt Regency here. And that's the Hyatt too, the brown building. Yeah, the Swiss Hotel. And down to the St. Regis, that blue one. Look at the top of the St. Regis there. Yeah, the Dutch VOC history. Yeah, we'll look into that juice. That's great. So here, I'm just 12:59. I'm just seeing if they launched this water jet here. So keep your eyes. See the Centennial Fountain there? It's in between those two bridges. There's a water cannon, and we caught it yesterday. It's called the Centennial Fountain. And at 1 o'clock, it should. There it goes, right on time. There goes the geyser. That's Old Faithful there in Chicago. It's like a fire hose. There's the Centennial Fountain jet there, shooting across the Chicago River. So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for watching our little live stream of the. And there's the masses of people crossing the bridge there. They let them back across here. So have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be streaming tonight on TikTok after 5. And thanks everybody for tuning in all over the world. Appreciate my mods and everybody's attention. It was so great seeing Christopher and his friend there. And thanks for saying hello. And I hope you guys have a good time in Chicago. Thanks for all the streaming that you've been doing. And look at this. Look at this mural here. The Chicago, Illinois. There's the Chicago, Illinois mural there. So thanks for checking us out. We'll see you later here from Chicago. Have a great day there. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks everybody. Oh, you just got your nutty bar. Good. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thanks a lot.